Welcome to the CrossFit Max podcast.
What is going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in. The 2025 CrossFit Games Open is officially closed and behind us. So in this episode, we are going to do a full recap. We're going to talk about the programming of the Open. We're going to talk about how our athletes absolutely crushed it and where you can go moving forward. So we hope that you enjoy it. If you haven't yet, please give us a rating and a review, and let's get to it. All right, 3, 2, 1. What's up, team? Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. How are you, love?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm great. It has been a day.
A day.
It has been a day.
It's been
highs and lows.
Yeah.
Very big highs, very big lows. Not very big lows.
The highs weren't that big.
The highs for me were pretty big. So
Tell me.
We have a teething baby at home. So that was quite low. 3 hours of nonstop crying and
3 hours for you.
Fussing. You, on the other hand, got a lot more hours. So Susie did the coaching this morning.
Yeah.
And the working out, and then I did the coaching in the afternoon / evening. And man, we post a lot of wonderful content from our lovely child,
I
Thomas.
have a bone to pick with you. I feel like that wasn't nice.
Who is
put him on blast.
9 months old. He's the cutest thing in the whole wide world. Thank God, because that's all he's got for him.
Wonderful.
And he's just going through a tough time right now. He's growing teeth. It's hard. And this morning was rough. But man, we post the most awesome content.
I know,
and
everyone's always like, he's such a happy kid.
He's so cheerful. He's the
like,
best
yeah.
kid. He's so happy.
Meanwhile, I don't put him on blast and embarrass him.
I'm embarrassing him, putting him straight on blast. I wonder if in like 20 years from now he's going to listen to this.
Yeah, and for people to just, no, there's no way. There's no way our child is going to go back and listen to our podcast. He's going to think we're the biggest losers ever, and he's never going to listen. But just so that listeners know, Brandon posted an Instagram story of like when we post on Instagram versus reality, and then just posted a video.
Susie posted an Instagram video of us pushing Thomas on the swing yesterday,
which was like the most
time.
Wholesome moment ever. I almost cried.
I think we were both having way more fun than Thomas was having.
Yeah, we were having the best
swing.
time. So I posted a cute video of Tommy like swinging in the sun with like a really nice, like heartwarming song. And then great. Brandon reshared it, followed by another story of being like, but the reality. And then it was just like Tommy whining and crying.
Oh, man. Gotta love him. Anyways, the people don't want to sit here and listen to us talk about the baby. But what was I going to...
I think you'd be surprised how many people do want to sit here and listen to us talk about the baby.
We love our little child more than I ever could have imagined.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
That's good.
But sometimes I'm like, man, remember how great it was on Sunday when you finish work or you finish the gym or you don't do anything that day. You just wake up and just sit in bed.
Oh my gosh.
And then you're just like, I'm going to have a nothing day.
One of our members today was telling me how like she spent the whole day sleeping yesterday. And I was like, I'm so jealous. Now I'm yawning thinking about it.
Yeah. But that being said, highs for today. I just got back from coaching the evening classes. Susie coached the 6 a.m. class.
Yeah,
you
the
worked
vibes
out.
Were high at 6
So you coached the 6. You worked out at 9.
I had a client at 7:30, and then I worked out at 9.
And then I worked out with the 12, and then coached the 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. Some of those I got to do with Daphne as well. And so we are on week 12 out of 12 at CrossFit Max, and it's test week. So this is a great opportunity for our athletes to
shine
for all those who have been working really hard and training consistently over the 12 weeks. It's a really good opportunity for them to set benchmarks, to reach new milestones for weight training, for gymnastics skill sets, and also for retesting certain conditioning pieces and being able to see how much fitter they've gone over the 12 weeks.
Yep.
So today was day 1 of week 12, and we tested the 1RM front squat, and then we tested a really tough like lactate threshold Metcon, where it was just 1 minute grueling hard push on the echo bike, followed by 1 minute of rest, and then followed by another minute of hard grueling effort on the bike erg, followed by another minute of rest, and repeated that for 3 rounds. So give the opportunity for people to see and hit new milestones on their front squat, their 1RM front squat.
Yeah.
And then really test a hard conditioning piece and see if they got more calories than they did 12 weeks ago, because what gets measured can be retested and improved upon.
Loads of people were getting PRs today, which was really fun. The energy was extremely high in the gym.
Even at 6 a.m., huh?
At 6 a.m., I mean, the class was full. We were 16 athletes. It was very, very cool.
Very epic, yeah.
And the Metcon was, you know, I liked to say it was simple. Like, there wasn't a whole lot to it.
Just gotta go.
It was not easy by any means. And I don't know if you remember, Brandon, when I did this workout 12 weeks ago. I did it with the mommies, and we like went off hours to the gym.
Oh, okay.
And me, Alexa, and Malice did it, and we literally tried our hardest and gave it our all. And then
was that?
Yes. And then
I know we're going with this.
And then
what happened?
I get home and Brandon's like, what happened at the gym today? And I was like, well, I mean, it was like a super spicy Metcon, and we sent it, like, gave it literally our whole life. And he was like, oh, really?
Compared to everyone else's scores.
And I was like, your scores are pretty, like, average. I would expect more from you.
I don't know if those are the exact words I was using, but yeah, it was definitely.
You were actually meaner than that. You told us that we were soft.
Were you guys trying hard today or what?
You asked me if I was purposely being soft. Anyway,
Sometimes
so
you gotta put
this
your wife
morning,
in place.
Manus walked in at 6 a.m. to do her workout, and she goes, remember what Brandon said last time we did this workout? And I was like, I'll never forget.
And
crushed it.
And do you know what the difference was?
I did 101 calories last time, and I did 108 today.
That's big. That's a big difference. Good job.
And I left my soul out there in that workout.
For those of you guys listening, or even who did this workout, this is not a workout that you're going to get a significant boost in calories. Every 1 calorie that you can push out more is going to be a really good serious gain. So that's what you said,
7 calorie gain for me.
That's a 7 calorie
gain.
And
for me, a major focus that I've had over the last 12 weeks has been the Echo Bike. So it just shows that my work is paying off.
Yep. Oh, well, awesome work, love. And Thanks. It was really cool to see the group classes, all the evening classes that I got to coach. Mm-hmm. I think there was maybe a couple people that maybe didn't PR, but there was like 30 to 40 athletes that hit PRs and stuff. So that was
so good,
freaking cool.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good vibe, and it's really cool from a coaching standpoint.
And how did your squat go?
Squat went well because we were in Australia for a big chunk of that time.
Yeah, I missed a lot of those.
We missed a lot of the
too.
front squats. Mm-hmm. So I was happy. My front squat isn't quite where it is, where I want it to be. I should say. Yeah,
I would agree with that statement. That's how I feel about mine as well.
So it was kind of a little like more like negative thoughts coming out. But then Vanessa, it was funny. Vanessa asked like anyone feeling like a little negative on themselves, and I was definitely one of those athletes. But the reality is that strength doesn't come by chance. You don't walk into the gym and hit a PR 100%. By luck or by chance. It's really a testament of hard work. And if you don't put in that hard work, then you can't reach that new PR. Yeah,
you can't cheat strength.
Yeah. So I didn't really get a good opportunity to do a lot of the heavy front squats.
Same.
But that being said, I hit 285, and it was the heaviest I've hit in a long time.
Okay.
But it's nowhere close to my previous PR. The best I've ever hit, I believe, was 305. But that 285 really sucked the energy out of me.
Did you do another rep after? Or
I didn't know. Like, I felt like it was just crumbling me from the inside. That front squat, it's just a tough position in that front rack position.
Yeah.
And it just felt like I was partnered with Matt today, and he said that I was looking good, but I just felt like I was using every ounce to not cave my upper back. So I was like, if I go a little bit heavier,
you might just aggravate your body more than.
Yeah. So there's either like you get to a point where you physically can't lift a bar, or it gets to a point where technique starts to go out the window and you call it. So I was at that point.
Well, good for you.
But it was really cool from a coaching perspective to see so many athletes PR, and we got a full week ahead. We got bench press and some a retest on a push-up and double under Metcon tomorrow. We have a redo of a cardio ain't cardio on Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to be testing our toes to bar and a retest from a conditioning piece as well. And then Friday, we have another test on the push press. We're going to see how heavy we can go on the push press. That's been a major focus, followed by another retest on a Metcon. So just a whole packed week of fun stuff. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and the energy was really high today. So
the vibes have been just so good in the gym.
I feel like in our industry, a lot of people say Mondays suck. Mondays are not the greatest day of the week. This is the worst day of the week. And for our industry, I feel like Monday's the best day of the week. Most people, I don't want to generalize here, but most people want to go to the gym on Mondays.
I agree. We have great attendance.
And some people have rested over the weekend, so their body is feeling really a lot fresher, and they're ready to go on the Monday. So I feel like Mondays are one of my favorite days, if not,
for training.
Yeah,
or just for life.
Just in general, I love Mondays.
I feel like, yeah, I agree. I really like a Monday.
It's a new opportunity to start a new week. I've always try to rework people's brain when they think that, like I guess a lot of people work the corporate job, so they get the weekend off. So they get the Saturday, Sunday off.
I was just going to say, for us, it's different because you work on Saturday and Sundays. So the weekend's not necessarily the weekend. So it's just another day.
It's the weekend, but it's not actually days off for us.
Right.
Even though I tried, I think I actually took yesterday off from, let's say, coaching and from admin stuff. I was still at the gym, did the run club, but I didn't really actually do any work yesterday.
That's good. You need a break.
Yeah. But anyways, that being said, Mondays, try to rework that brain. It's a new week. It's a new opportunity. It's a fresh start for, new goals, new achievements. And I always find that that's a better way of looking at Monday rather than, shoot, it's the beginning of a week, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dig it. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, as you would say.
The nitty-gritty. We're going to
recap
the CrossFit Games Open 2025.
I know our listeners from 2027 who have gone back to listen to the OG podcast are just like having a time warp right now.
We made an open podcast for I guess a few weeks before the Open, and it's actually
popped off.
Yeah, it really got a lot of downloads. So
it's like
this will be
400
interesting.
downloads on it or something crazy. For us, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we're gonna do a recap of how the CrossFit Open went in our opinions and our biased opinions here.
Yeah.
We'll talk from from a business, not a personal, but more from a business. We won't talk about our personal achievements.
You don't want to talk about who won between you and I? Because I feel like we could
2-1 Brandon.
I don't know. I think we should just take overall rankings and compare them.
But yeah, we'll talk about it from the business perspective. We'll talk about it from the coaching perspective and where hopefully you guys could take out of the Open, like what is next for for everyone's training. And yeah, so first, the CrossFit Open was just an overall blast at CrossFit Max.
Oh my gosh, it's always the best. Like the vibes are just so good.
I would also start with the community really stepped up. I feel like this year our community had a lot more energy. It's our third CrossFit Open at CrossFit Max, which is cool.
Yeah, very
First
cool.
year we had 37 people registered under CrossFit Max. The second year we had 55, and this year we had 72 athletes registered.
Damn!
Which is pretty cool, considering we have 110-ish members. 72
That's
is not
a very
bad.
big percentage of our clientele.
And I would say it was really cool to watch other people encourage and try to convince them to sign up for the Open. Most years, it's typically just the CrossFit Max coaches, the team trying to push and try to get everyone we can. And this year, it felt like it was the CrossFit Max community pushing each other to sign up.
100%.
There was a lot of people that did their first CrossFit Open, and yeah, just the overall community vibe was really cool. Our Friday night lights
were bumping.
The energy that people brought. even people who didn't quite feel ready to sign up for the Open still showed up on the Friday nights to encourage their peers and their teammates, which I think that was freaking cool.
Yeah, they found their way to participate, and I like that.
Yeah, and I saw...
We'll get them next year.
And I saw... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I just saw I don't know, it was cool. I felt like the community really took over this year in our establishment. We do the Friday night lights, so every Friday for the 3 workouts, we don't have any group classes. What we do is we shoot people into waves, and that was just...
Yeah, people were judging each other. People were cheering on each other, sticking around to the end to watch the coaches throw down. It was very, very cool.
So the way we organized it is I just put up a sheet, and people just signed up in their wave, and then all the coaches go in the very last wave, and all the athletes just yell at all the coaches. So
it's my favorite part.
Yeah, it is a cool part. And if you're listening to this and you're maybe a CrossFit affiliate owner, right? You're do this at another gym, or you're a coach at another gym, I would highly encourage you to do this, because I remember when I was once just an athlete, and I remember always wanting to stay to the end just to see the coaches go, because, well, number one, they coach you all year long. So
they're yelling at you all the time.
You don't necessarily get to always see them work out. Right?
Yeah.
And, it's a cool opportunity for them to see you work out, and then for them to yell at you, to push harder. Yeah. And it hopefully builds a little bit of motivation around their training as well. Because I remember when I would look at like those coaches at the time and be like, wow, I want to be able to do that movement, or I want to be able to move this well in that movement. I want to be able to push, right? So it's a really cool moment for everyone to just hang out at the end and just yell at all the coaches, and that's cool. And from a participant in that, that was really awesome.
I thrive under those types of environments. For me, that's so much fun. I pride myself on being probably one of the loudest cheerleaders when I'm watching, and I feel like the community reciprocated that for me this year, which was amazing.
Yeah. Second thing is the actual workouts. The actual workouts, we had 3 workouts, right? First week, second week, third week. What did you think of each workout?
Okay, I'll give you like my quick thoughts. The first one, personally, I just knew I would do well in it, so I liked it, but I thought it was a little bit on the boring side since we pretty much had that workout in a different outfit last year.
Mm-hmm. I like that different outfit. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, like same workout, different fit,
Yeah.
And then the second workout personally was my favorite because I got my first bar muscle up.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that. I like a retest. So cool. And the third workout I thought was freaking amazing. I loved it. It was so fun. There was lots of different elements to it. It was entertaining to judge. It was entertaining to watch. It was soul crushing to do in the best way. Like when I say soul crushing, I think that's a positive thing because I like to go to that place every once in a while. Yeah. I feel like the last workout was my favorite by far, even though maybe it wasn't the one I did pretty well in it, but I would just say that like overall it was just fun to do. I enjoyed it a lot.
I thought
tell me your thoughts.
I agree a lot with you on the first one. I love that they put a workout that is doable for the world.
100%.
Like one dumbbell.
Exactly. You don't need anything.
Hang,
really.
Clean and jerk. It's an easier movement than the snatch as well in terms of like getting the dumbbell to the shoulder then from the shoulder to overhead. More people can RX it. Burpees. And then I like the fact that they put body weight walking lunges in there. Thought it was cool.
I do really like that you could just have one dumbbell and participate in that workout.
Yeah. That being said, I did feel like it was like you mentioned, boring. In a sense that I feel like they could have added other movements that are also just as accessible and just as RX-able, let's say, and different.
Like it was just like last year was burpee workout and this year was a burpee workout.
It was
over the dumbbell.
Almost a copy-paste workout of the year before without saying it's a retest. Like they added some body weight lunges, but the body weight lunges didn't do anything. Didn't change anything. Sure, it gave you a little bit of a break on the burpees, but it was almost an identical workout than last year.
The stimulus was the exact same.
Stimulus exact same. How much are you willing to just do a burpee over the dumbbell?
Yeah.
But I think like in a sense it was cool, but in a sense I was like, I guess because I program and I focus a lot on the creativity of programming at CrossFit Max, that I thought, I feel like it was a little on the boring side.
This is the HQ came up with this, you know?
Yeah.
Like you've got a team of elite coaches and this was the workout you thought was it. Yeah, I agree.
So I was a little
underwhelmed,
let's say, by that first one.
Yep.
The second one I thought was cool. It wasn't the retest that I had anticipated, because I really think that overall they, in both first, second, and third one, they didn't add a strength piece component. There was no heavy lift involved, and CrossFit is known to do like a Metcon followed by like one heavy lift.
Yeah, like 6 minutes or something.
The second workout was a retest of one. And I can't remember exactly which open workout was very similar to the retest that we did. However, it had part A and part B, and part A was almost identical: thrusters, pull-ups, chest-to-bars, and bar muscle-ups, where the other one had front squats, toes-to-bars, and then thrusters, and then front squats, chest to bars and thrusters, and then front squats, bar muscle ups and thrusters. And then immediately after that, there was like a barbell complex where you had to find your like heaviest complex you could do for a deadlift, a hang clean, a jerk, and then another clean. And I thought that would have been a really good test, because they haven't put a barbell strength test
I think
in the open in the last couple of years.
The cohort of athletes whose strength is their strength are like, were loud about it on social media this year. Like there was like no representation for people whose like their thing is lifting heavy.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the open is meant to encompass all the elements of fitness. And I feel like it was just lacking the strength component. Like even I guess it was 3 years ago, they put the 1RM thruster.
Oh yeah.
And I thought, like, even at that point, it is what it is. But the thruster isn't that like the heaviest barbell. I feel like they could have really put like a heavy clean in there,
like put an Olympic lift in there,
or a snatch in there.
Yeah.
Even like, I think this would be cool. It might be a little cringy on the watching of social medias, because anytime there's competition, it's not the same as training. So in training, you really focus on technique. In competition, it's like, this is the work that needs to get done, go and execute. So I say this with that in mind. I think that it would have been cool to have like a 1 rep max deadlift.
Right.
How cool would it be to know how heavy 230,000 people can lift in a deadlift?
Yeah.
How epic would that be? How, like, it's simple. You grab the bar and you stand up with it. You either lift it or you don't lift it. How cool would that be to know the average weight of all the females and all the males, right? Or what's the heaviest? Who is the strongest deadlifter out of 220,000, 230,000?
Yeah, I think the numbers that would show up would be quite impressive.
That would be so freaking cool.
I also think the rounded spines on the gram would be quite disturbing.
Yes, exactly. And again, there's the training and competing, but in order for you to lift, like, the people who have the most impressive deadlifts are going to be the people who have really good position and good form.
100%.
If you look at the people, the strongmen, they're deadlifting 1,000 pounds, and they're not deadlifting with like completely rounded backs. Like, they are backs are straight. They're loading up
they're bracing,
their hamstrings and everything. Like, they are doing it properly. But anyways, that's just my opinion on workout number 2, and overall opinion on all 3 workouts is there was missing a strength piece.
Yeah.
In order for
selfishly, I'm not mad about it, because that's where I do not shine.
But it's a big
gap. Yeah. I agree.
And the second one, the second workout did, like, the barbell thruster got heavier, but at that point later into the workout, it's not about who's stronger and who can lift this barbell. It's more like your heart rate is through the roof. Every part of your body is in so much pain. You also had to be able to do bar muscle ups, which is a high skill gymnastic movement to get to the heavy barbell. So, and then on the third one, the weight was more on the moderate side. Like I like the fact that they changed the barbell. You had 3 different barbell movements.
I thought it was so fun.
I think it was really cool. And I like that there was so many different elements and it wasn't boring, like do 25 wall walks and then move on. I like that there was...
I thought it was so fun.
Just in terms of creative.
Like, I would love to do that workout like in a group class. Like, it's just like fun and interesting.
Mm-hmm. And it was creative.
Yeah.
That one was creative. It had a descending order of of weight, but the complexity of the movement got a little bit harder. So like it went from a deadlift, at 225 for the boys,
155 for the girls,
for the ladies, and then it went to a clean. So the skill goes up, but the weight significantly dropped to 135 for the guys, 85 for the ladies, and then it went to a snatch at the end. If you got there, to 95 pounds for the boys and 65 for the ladies, which is that's all. If you're intermediate or above, then that is all
attainable,
like lightweight.
Yeah.
So that being said, that's kind of my overall consensus, that I felt like the creativity wasn't as it should have been, but I do feel like overall, like each thing was a good overall test, minus the fact that there was no like really good strength component in there.
I'm pretty bummed that we still didn't see wall balls this year.
Yeah, true. There was a lot of missing components in there.
I'm sure Nikki was bummed too. She said wall balls were her favorite last week on the pod.
Yeah, it's true. There was a lot of things that were missing.
2 years in a row, no wall balls.
Yeah, no wall balls is actually surprising. We also haven't got a box.
Was there toast to bar?
There was no toast to bar this year either.
2 years in a row, no wall balls or toast to bar.
Was there no toast to bar last year?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so no toast to bar, no.
And wall balls and toast to bar are like 2 of my top 5 movements.
Yeah, so no wall balls, no toast to bar. There was also nothing to do with a box again this year, which I thought for sure we were going to see a box.
Jumps.
What's
or
that?
Step overs or something.
Yeah, I thought for sure we'd have something with a box, and we didn't. So I was pretty surprised about that, actually.
Yeah, that was all the things that they could have put in workout 1, which they just opted to do last year's workout again.
Yeah. Yeah, like instead of like a lateral burpee over the dumbbell, like put a burpee box jump over, right? And like throw that in there. Make
Brandon program the CrossFit Open, guys.
Yeah, when you see the first one, it's hard to judge because you're like, I don't know what's coming up next. But now that I've seen all 3, I'm like, wow, they could have. And maybe lunges is different, and I do like the fact that they made it body weight instead of like making you do the dumbbell in that thing, in that conditioning piece. But yeah, if you think about it, they could have put wall balls in there. They could put burpee box jump overs and the dumbbell. They could have put toast to bar in that workout. They could have put so many different things that would have changed it from a copy paste or change the fit. same, but different, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was my general consensus over the actual workouts.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. What was your favorite one to do?
I don't know. I thought they were even. Maybe the second one, because there's bar muscle ups and I love double unders. But those thrusters are brutal. So if I had to redo any of them, I would not want to redo that one, even though it was maybe my favorite one to do of the 3. I really like the last one.
I like the last one too. I thought it was fun, but I was so worried about how much it was going to hurt, and I was correct.
No.
I also, this is just an aside, and the people of the podcast can laugh at me, I literally smacked myself in the face.
Yeah, you got
on my first snatch with the bar.
Coach Vanessa did that the week before. You did
I know.
That this week.
We're a right pair of Dumb and Dumber over here. Like freaking stay back and watch the coaches smash themselves in the face with the bar. Yeah. You know what? I honestly think first of all, I was just like moving fast and like too excited. But also like I was expecting the barbell to feel heavier when I got to the snatch. And so like I kind of like like tried to like rip it off the ground and then like realized that it like just flew up. And so I just clonked myself on the way. And then it was really funny. Malis was judging me and I looked at her and I was like, am I okay? Because like it was just happening so quickly and it just smashed myself. I know you got like between your eyes, but did you get your nose? No, I didn't get my nose. I got like my literal like between my eyebrows, like my forehead. When you hit your nose, that's the worst. That's happened to me before. You get your nose and like instantly like eyes teary. No, luckily no. Your nose starts running. Yeah, honestly, I didn't really like. I honestly completely relied on Malice to tell me if I was fine because I was just like so in the zone. And she was like, just go. And I was like, perfect. And then it only kind of hit me at the end that it really hurt. And then I had a nice little bruise for a few days. Nice. Yeah. And anyway. From a preparation standpoint. You killed it. I want to toot my own horn here. My goodness. I don't know if I could have prepped the community better, the CrossFit Max community any better. Before I talk about specifically for those listeners who don't know, when I do the priorities for the 12-week cycle, like we talked about in the banter, the main priority was getting athletes ready for the open. Yeah. And every Friday for 5 weeks before the open, we did open prep on Fridays because we knew we were going to do the Friday night lights. Get the body ready. So we did a previous open workout every Friday and got them prepared for the feeling of that intensity and the most common movements that come up in the open. And on the first workout that popped up, like we said, almost a copy paste of the same workout from last year. I made them do the workout from last year, the 24.1. 24.1. I made them test that literally 4 weeks prior. I think it was 4 weeks prior. Yeah. So they had a rough idea, or the athletes, how that was going to feel. I say our community, we were not actually present, unfortunately. I would have loved to be able to see to go through those motions and see our athletes, but Susie and I were away in Australia, so I did make you retest that with me in Australia, though. Yeah, and it was You're rough. Welcome. But so I made them retest that workout, and then, funnily enough, the second open workout was a retest of 22.3. Yeah. And I literally made our athletes. We had done it like 2 weeks prior. On the last open prep, week 5 of open prep. This is 1 week before the start of the open. I made them do that workout as the open prep. Yeah, so we all had exactly that. And that was and it was interesting because I didn't think that was actually going to be the retest. I thought the other one, I think it's 20.3 or 20.4 was the one that I anticipated them doing, and it was not, or 21.3. I think it was 21.3. I thought that it was going to be the actual one. Anyways, and I made the community do that one specifically because I wanted them to get a feeler and an understanding of what happens when you see higher scale movements. How is our community going to approach when they see pull-ups or when they see chest to bars or when they see bar muscle-ups? What do they do, right? Do they look at the bar muscle-up and say, oh, I need to scale this workout? Well, hold on. There's a whole bunch of shit before the bar muscle-up that needs to get done. So I wanted to put them in that mindset and get them prepared as much as possible for a plan. And ironically, it was perfect because 2 weeks later, plan. That was literally the same workout. So many of us got to practice that, and we actually got to do that one because we were here. Yeah, and that's really good because whenever you do a workout a second time within like a reasonable time frame, you're definitely going to do better on the second time, not only because you're in like the open environment, but because you know like where you struggled on the first time, and so you can come up with a strategy that's more suitable by the second one. Yeah. And then we practiced tons of wall walks over the year, so the last one was a lot of wall walks. And I mean, we had been doing barbell cycling this whole cycle. Yeah, so the cleans and the snatches and all of that. Deadlifts have been a focus. Yep. The deadlifts were at a weight that was attainable by a lot of the community. And then, I mean... Yeah. So from a preparation standpoint, we were ready. I was pretty pumped about setting up our community for the open. And I think, I feel like our beautiful members just have it so good with your elite programming.
Okay,
I
enough
just,
of my
like-
tooting the horn here.
Okay, but I can because it's not my horn, it's your horn. But I just feel like, sometimes just for our own sake, I would love for our members to experience like not your programming for just like 1 week. And then they would come back and be like, oh my God. Because anytime we've been to other CrossFit gyms, or I even just see other gyms posting their workouts online, I'm just like, your program is so much better.
Thanks, love. I appreciate that. That being said, there's a lot of good programmers out there.
Oh, yeah.
And I just feel
You're
like
just the best.
I just take a lot. No, I'm not the best. Yeah, I do not know nearly enough compared to some really amazing.
Well, you're
programmers
very
out
thoughtful about your program, and it shows.
Yeah, that's what I.
You don't
try
just
to
put
do.
like random exercises together.
Yeah.
Which I think, unfortunately, there is a cohort of people that do that, which those are the people who give CrossFit a bad reputation.
Yeah. Or just people still following the old school CrossFit way, which I really despise, the either strength or Metcon.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Like, you got a whole hour. Like, let's make use of the hour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's that.
Love it.
And then I think the other thing I wanted to discuss is like, what do athletes do after the CrossFit Open?
Yeah.
And
Count down the days till the next one.
I think the first thing people should do is reflect, because the Open is a very humbling experience. You will never push as hard, or probably never push as hard in a workout, in a normal training session, that you will in an open workout.
100%.
And an open workout will truly point out, or there's nowhere to hide in an open workout. It'll show you where your weaknesses are. There'll be movements that you'll be tested. You either you'll get to a movement or a skill that you cannot do, right? Like, you don't have the strength yet to do a pull-up or a bar muscle up, or you don't have the skill to be able to do double unders yet.
Right.
Or you lack the conditioning to control your heart rate for a longer 20-minute workout.
100%, yeah.
So it's a very vulnerable and humbling experience, because you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and it highlights to you where you need to put in the work.
Exactly. So reflection, I think, is a really good starting point for where everyone should reflect after, I guess.
I was just swallowing and I didn't want
to. Oh. Sis is making weird faces over there, dodging over there.
I didn't want the microphone to pick up my large gulp of water.
But yeah, so it's a good starting point for people to just reflect and look at these things and not think, I suck at this. When I did my very first Open,
right?
I talked about this before, and I got to that toes to bar, and I sat underneath the toes to bar, and I thought I was going to crush this, and I spent 10 minutes trying to do toes to bar.
You're getting at the end of this,
reps. I got 30 something reps after 10 minutes. 30 completed reps and probably 60 no reps, because
you had your ego handed to you.
Oh yeah, big slap in the face. And at the end of that, I told myself I never want to get stuck like that in the Open, and I spent a lot of time working on my toes to bar. So for a lot of people, the most common one is the double unders. The amount of people that I saw in 2024
last year
get stuck on the double unders and say, I'm really going to work on my double unders, and then just put it off. Open is around the corner. Oh, we're a month out of the Open. Oh, we're 2 weeks out of the Open. Oh, I should probably start working on my double unders now. It's like, well, hold on a second. You said last year that you were going to start working on your double unders. Now this year, we're 2 weeks away from the Open. How skillful do you think you're going to get over these next 2 weeks, when you could have spent 52 weeks training on this? And guess what? The Open, there's double unders. You get stuck on the double unders, right? And then you're like, oh, but I don't want to practice when there's like people around and stuff. It's like, no, grab your rope, practice, trip a whole bunch of times on it, put yourself in an open situation where you have to do it, and just keep practicing. Get on the pull-up bar 10 minutes before class. Instead of sitting down on the ground, get on a bike erg. pedal. You want to work on your conditioning? Get on a bike and just start pedaling.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have like shoulder limitations, like that overhead press is really, really hard. Okay, well, after class, take some time and do mobility
Stretching.
stuff. Stretch out your thoracic spine, stretch out your whole scap area, right? Your triceps are super tight. That's probably limiting you in the front rack position. So you have a really hard time doing thrusters and things that require you to hold a barbell on your shoulders to either press overhead or squat down. Spend some time after class. Take 5 minutes after class to work on these things.
Mm-hmm.
So the open exposes you in all the things that you need to work on. And rather than saying, I suck at this, and just identifying as this person who sucks at this, take it on as a challenge and learn from this. Oh, right, I need to work on these things. I don't want to get stuck underneath the pull-up
Yeah,
bar.
let whatever frustrated you fuel your future training.
Yeah, use your time wisely. The amount of time I see people get to the gym 10 minutes early and just sit on their phone and sit on the benches and wait for the coach to call them in. It was really cool. At the 6 p.m. class today, that was almost the opposite. There was the 6 p.m. class was coming in. As I was finishing with the 5 p.m., I'm looking around. There's like 7 or 8 people just doing things on bikes, doing some mobility stuff, hanging from a pull-up bar. And I'm looking around. I'm like, wow, this is
Athletes.
This is so cool. Like, people are working on things that they want to work on right now.
Yeah. I think I've noticed that since the open, a lot of people have developed a hunger for new movements or to work on current things that they can do, but they want to get better at. I feel like, just like you're saying, it's sort of confronting when you get hit with a movement that limits you. And I've seen the hunger in the eyes of the members. I've seen people showing up early to work on their gymnastics, staying after to work on whatever it is that they're working on.
Yeah. And one of the cool things that people might take away also is, I wanted to use this exact example. I cannot remember who said it, but someone was like, Liv. I'm going to shout out Liv today. I was talking about her open reflection, and one of the things she said that she would like to do moving forward is going heavier in group classes, because strength is something that it's more her strong suit. She's more in her element when she's doing more heavier stuff, and she knows that cardio is something that she needs to work on and that she's been working really hard on.
Absolutely.
But her strength is barbell stuff, heavier stuff, and she was saying that her thought process is, well, I'm going to go lighter on the barbell stuff so that I have the energy in my cardio to keep pushing on the other things. But that she notices that it doesn't really correlate like that. No matter if the barbell was heavy or not, she's still struggling. Now, there's a certain truth to that might be there.
Yeah, but she's making an overcompensation that's not actually paying her.
Exactly.
Got it.
Having that reflection from Liv today was really cool, because now she's done the open and she's like, oh, when I did these hard conditioning pieces in the open, the barbells were already set at this weight that I could move that was for her on the moderate to maybe heavier side of things.
Yeah.
And she's like, that didn't affect my cardio any worse. I was still able to grind through that stuff and use that.
So that was eye-opening for her.
So her reflection was, okay, like when I'm doing conditioning pieces, when I'm training and doing my Metcons, I can get a little heavier on that barbell.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good reflection. And I think a lot of people can kind of relate to that, especially when it comes to like dumbbell selection when we're doing workouts in group classes. If you're if you're a lady and you constantly are going for that 25-pound dumbbell, open comes around and there's no option to take a 25-pound dumbbell.
What do they do?
And then they do the 35-pound dumbbell
yeah.
that they previously tried to tell us that they couldn't do, which
can't do it, coach. Can't do it.
I can't. And then boom, just did it. So what does that say? Means that, okay, it doesn't mean that you need to take the 35-pound dumbbell every single workout. Obviously, there's a time and place and you want to get the right stimulus for the workout. But, always going for the 25-pound dumbbell isn't going to get you where you want to be. Maybe grabbing the 30-pound dumbbell every once in a while, or when it's appropriate, going for that 35 dumbbell. For the girls that are already using the 35, you've been programming quite often now 50-pound dumbbell things. Like for the ladies, you know, I felt like that paid me huge this year on the open, because the clean and jerk workout, that first workout with the dumbbell on the Monday before the Friday session, I was throwing around the 50-pound dumbbell, and the 35 felt like a lightweight when, okay, it didn't like 10 minutes into the workout, but for the first 5 minutes of the workout, it felt like a lightweight in comparison.
Yeah. So when you guys are attacking those, or when you guys are doing your normal training sessions, not to say that every training session needs to feel like the open, nor should it, because the intensity that the open brings out in you is another level, and that's really hard on the nervous system. And like I said earlier about training versus competing, it's very different. But a lot of the time, you need to still have that mindset of, okay, I can do something a little bit more challenging in the barbell right now. I don't need to always grab that same dumbbell, that same 25-pound dumbbell.
Yeah,
like you said.
I think a lot of people get comfortable in the gym, and they get comfortable with what their current level is. And so they get used to, when I see on the board 35, I grab a 25. But they forget that they're getting fitter. And in order to progress, you need to progress on your every little element, you know? So if you always do wall walks with your feet on a box instead, well, you're never gonna know if now you've got the strength to use the wall. So every once in a while, you need to get your body up on the wall, or whatever it is that we're doing.
A really good example for that type of stuff is we've done a lot of EMOMs of wall walks. So it's like you have 60 seconds. You're working for a minute. It's on the minute here. Doesn't matter if you do 2 all the way full wall walks in a 60-second time period, or you just go halfway and you do 7 or 8 of those. That's a really good example. So those types of training sessions allow you to push beyond your limits, and sometimes we have the go mentality. I want more reps. It's like, well, hold on, let's get a little bit harder. Let's get higher skill reps, stuff, more difficult stuff to grind my way out there, because at the end of the day, this workout doesn't have a prescribed amount of wall walks. I don't have to do, like in the open, 25 wall walks, right? What I have to do is I just have 60 seconds, and now I get to practice them, and I can go as high as I can, right?
Yeah, and obviously that's our role as coaches, to communicate like when is a good time to be doing what variation, and then it's your role as an athlete to then take that information and actually apply it.
Yep, well said. So take a lot of reflection off the open. I know I took some on a personal side for what I'm looking for. And
what's your fitness goal now? Based on how the open went, what do you feel is your primary focus into your training?
Not being jet lagged. No, I'm kidding.
That sounds like a lot of excuses, because I hate to break it to you, Brandon, but I was also jet lagged, and I also had a baby 9 months ago.
Yeah, you did. You crushed it. No, joking aside.
You know, someone actually, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Somebody literally, who was I talking to? I don't remember, but I was talking to them about you and your open. And they said to me, yeah, he's had a really big year. It's been really intense, you know, with the baby and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm the one who birthed that baby.
You sure did.
I grew that baby, and I birthed that baby, and I recovered from that C-section, and I'm not using it as my excuse.
Yeah,
and then it was so funny. I was a guy I was talking to. It might have been Eli, but it might not have been. So I don't want to shout anyone out. I just remember I was talking to someone, and then they kind of had the like, yep, never mind what I said.
Yeah, I feel like this last year, my main priority was running the half marathon. So I kind of came away from training those higher intensity CrossFit sessions.
Yeah.
That was a big emphasis on my training. And I just feel, what I'm looking forward to in the next year is pushing myself a little bit more on conditioning pieces.
Yeah,
like those.
You
Metcons.
feel like that was the limiting factor for you on the workouts, was your conditioning?
I would say
on the open workouts
the
this year.
limiting was my mindset of like wanting to go into the dark place.
Okay.
There's like a mindset.
Yeah.
It's like
I feel like that's
my open
pretty
scores
much
were good. I finished in
completely
like
accurate.
the 79th percentile in the world.
It's amazing.
Which is the worst open I've had maybe in 7 years.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not that I couldn't do thrusters or I couldn't do bar muscle ups.
You could do all the skills.
And it was just my will to go into a dark place to get from the 79th percentile to the 85th percentile or even the 90th percentile. At one point, I was top 10% in the world.
I was stalking your profile and I saw at one point you were in the 93rd percentile.
Yeah.
That's like the top 7% of the freaking world.
Yeah. And yeah, obviously.
Pretty sure that's the year we met.
Joking aside about the whole baby situation, has been a really big year. Like it has
God.
been a really intense year.
I didn't sleep through the night until about a month ago.
Yeah.
For like literally 7-8 months in a row.
So I feel like when I was even training over this last year, my will to like really go into a whirl of pain was just not there. And I wasn't willing to go there. So this year, I'm really looking forward to, the baby's out. And hopefully the hard stuff is behind us, even though there are, still a lot moving forward here.
And no more babies going in for the foreseeable future.
But
I'm just getting my fitness back. I'm not willing to give it up.
Like running the business, we've gone through a lot this last year.
It's been a big year.
So being able to really dig deep and push into hard metcons has not really been something I have been training. And running was the complete opposite. Running was you just have to get out there, go slower.
Yeah, it probably
longer.
actually served exactly what you needed.
Yeah, in a way it did. And this year I'm just looking forward to doing the opposite of that. I do have the half marathon program coming up soon.
Yeah, me too.
And I
God, we're going to do it together.
Yeah, and I'll be pushing a little bit more on that. I have a more aggressive time cap and I have some mileage under my belt. And I have been running all winter. So I'm looking forward to being a little bit more aggressive in the running. And I'm also looking forward to being a little bit more aggressive in my cross training. And I would love to do some competitions. So that's the last thing I kind of wanted to end on, was a lot of people shy away from signing up to the Open because it is vulnerable. You are putting your name on a board with hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. And what I would encourage people is that there's good stress in life and then there's bad stress, meaning bad stress, not enough money in the bank account, right? Like that is a bad stress to have. Getting bullied at school from my students, right? That is really bad stress, or having just a bad homecoming at home or a bad home situation, right?
Yes.
Bad stress. Good stress. Working out. This is
Great
really
stress.
good stress on the body. This is some of the most stressful things that you could do is putting a barbell on your shoulders and squatting really heavy.
Yep.
But the benefits far outweigh let's say the stress that gives. And at the end of that, you come out stronger, you come out fitter, you come out more resilient, you come out healthier.
Yes.
Signing up for a competition is a good stressor, in my opinion. However, that being said, there's, obviously some exceptions. If you become like really ill, let's say if you're signing for a competition, like there's definitely exceptions out there, right? But I would recommend for the most part that people should sign up for competitions, sign up for races, sign up for events. There's so many CrossFit competitions, especially coming up soon. Like we're coming into springtime, spring, summer, fall. This is prime time CrossFit competition for like local areas. A lot of local places will have, a lot of local CrossFit gyms will host CrossFit competitions. We're going to be hosting one in July.
Yeah.
Turn up the heat. And a lot of CrossFit gyms do that. But there's also some like bigger events. There's literally just events that happen where they rent fields or they rent stadiums, and you can sign up for those CrossFit competitions. There's High Rocks. High Rocks seems to be a booming thing right now. I think we should do a podcast on this. But signing up for a High Rocks, signing up for a 10K race, a half marathon, if you're crazy, a full marathon, signing up for these these things while your motivation is high just helps you build motivation around your training.
Gives you like a target to work towards. It helps with the discipline because you can't move the date of your half marathon. So it's either get training or feel sorry for yourself.
And hopefully at the end of that, when you go through a competition like the Open, hopefully you feel accomplished. And I know there's always that, I didn't finish as great as I would have loved to finish. There's always that hunger to do better. That's probably normal. That's probably most people's reaction. But at the end of the day, hopefully upon reflecting, you feel proud of yourself for putting yourself out there. You feel proud of your accomplishments. You feel proud of your hard work that you gave each Metcon. Maybe some of you guys hit personal records or did your first chest to bar. Susie did her first bar muscle up.
Yeah.
Maybe some of you guys deadlifted the heaviest you've ever deadlifted. That 225 bar might have been the first time you ever did 225, and you did it a bunch of times with Rebecca. We talked about Rebecca and her doing the 155-pound deadlift. She's like, that's my 1RM, and she did it 10 times in the workout. Oh no, she did all 25 times, I think, because she got to the wall walks after. I can't remember actually, but
I don't know. But either way, she did attack that barbell and she did multiple reps of it.
Yeah. So there's a sense of this stress that comes from signing up and putting yourself into a competition, but the things that you could gain after that far outweigh the nerves and the butterflies to stop you from doing such thing.
And I was going to say, I feel like I see this all the time on social media, those like social media posts of like people in podcast clips or doctors or whatever. And I feel like I hear this and see this a lot. And I think it's true when you're experiencing that stress, that nervous stress, if you can reframe it in like excitement, your body's physical reaction is quite similar. So if you're able to like tell yourself that this isn't like bad stress and you're not unsafe, it's happy stress, and you want to channel it instead of anxiousness as excitement, then you're able to sort of flip yourself out of those like more negative viewing emotions into a more positive one, and the heart rate pumping and all of those physical reactions are going to be the same.
The
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I feel like this is my fitness year. I feel so hungry for just fitness gains.
Takeaway from that is, sign up for something.
Yeah.
Sign up, take this Open as an experience, and then sign up for something else.
We should do a competition together. We've never done that.
Yeah.
Ever.
We would crush it. We would do well. I think that would be fun. And I would love to do that with our community. I would love to pinpoint, hey, there's these 2 CrossFit competitions that I think would be really fun. There's some races that we would love to do. There's a Point Claire race that we're going to start promoting soon. So I think that would be cool. There's multiple distances. They have the 2Ks, they have the 5Ks, the 10K, and then the 15K. There's maybe some high rocks. There's some of our athletes are doing high rocks. Put yourself out there, sign up for something hard. It's going to, once you complete whatever that achievement is, you're going to feel so much fitter, there's just this sense of accomplishment after that.
Heck yeah.
And the Open, it doesn't feel as much as like an event because it's dragged on within 3 weeks. So you get this like hard work and this little high, hard work, little high, versus if you sign up for an actual competition.
Yeah, it's like a full
day thing. And then you finish it, you're like, wow, like I feel like I'm on cloud 9 right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to end the podcast with client of the week.
Pew, 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 pew.
And this client is someone who did their very first CrossFit Open.
Heck yeah.
She has also been absolutely crushing it in the gym. And that client is Mel Boucher.
Yay!
So Mel Boucher has been someone who has joined us not that long ago. I don't even know the actual timetable of how long it's been within 6 months, I would say.
Yeah. Within 6 months.
So been at CrossFit Max for only a few months.
Yes.
I don't even think she hesitated to sign up for the Open. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Nat that may have convinced her.
That wouldn't surprise me one bit. That would make perfect sense.
I hope I didn't get that wrong. But yeah, she like just stepped up to the plate. She was like, yep, I'm doing it.
She came on the Friday nights.
She crushed it. She did her very first Open with with just a good energy.
Such a good energy, such a good mindset. She was the victim of my screaming. I just happened to be stationed right next to her when she was hitting that last workout, and she was on the rower, and I was just screaming in her poor ears, but I think she liked it.
We were talking about skill set before. She was someone who did the RX version, and she got to the pull-up and was trying to get her very first pull-up and isn't quite there yet. But she mentioned the other day, or mentioned several times actually throughout the last couple of weeks, I gotta get, like, this is the year I'm getting my first pull-up. And she's, when we were doing ring pull-ups, she was like really like trying to like do a progression that was challenging for her to build up the strength, right? Rather than just shying away and making it easier. She's like, I'm going to get my first pull-up this year. All the words that she's saying, she has that like growth mindset.
She's speaking it into existence.
She's challenging herself. She's pushing herself. She has the right mindset of like, hey, I'm going to be able to do this. I just got to put in the work here. So shout out to Mel for also just being like a really good person. She's so nice.
I love her. She's just always so kind. Such a good mood.
Yep. Yeah. So shout out to you, Mel, for being such an awesome athlete.
Keep crushing it, girl.
Keep crushing it. Everyone who participated in this year's Open, the 2025 Open, is now complete.
You are all legends.
Way to go for doing the thing. And
those of you who didn't do the Open,
sign up next year.
You literally can't hide from me next year. I will find you.
Sign up next year. The goal for next year at CrossFit Max
100
is to get, well, I wasn't going to say 100 because that's a massive jump, but I was going to say 90. 90 is our goal, from 72 to 90.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping to hit.
Just like you guys are speaking your goals into existence, we like to speak ours into existence as well.
And we're not going to do this by chance.
We're going to put in the work.
Put in the work to get 90 people to sign up for the Open next year, including you. Yes, you listening right now.
Not you from 2027 in the future, because that doesn't make sense. But you in the present. In the present, listening to this in your car, at your office, with your friends. You're all signing up. Caroline, I'm talking to you. All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya. Bye.